What was supposed to be nothing more than a casual dinner turned into something else entirely. Friends gathered around the table, laughter echoing, wine glasses catching the light. Yet when my eyes landed on him, her so-called best friend, leaning back in my chair as though it belonged to him, everything shifted. His stare cut through me, sharp with arrogance. "She deserves better than you," he sneered, glancing toward my wife for validation. And she gave it. A quiet laugh, just enough to confirm that she had handed him authority over me. In that moment, the truth was undeniable. I wasn't her partner anymore. I was the punchline. I studied the woman I had dedicated my life to, and she didn't even blink. That's when it struck me. This wasn't a careless slip. This was the reality she had been hiding all along. It hadn't always been like this. When we first met, neither of us had much. I was still fighting to carve out a career, pouring endless hours into proving myself. She used to say she admired that about me. My drive, the way I stayed steady under pressure, my refusal to break. Together, we built something that resembled love. I gave her stability, the kind of secure home I'd never known growing up. She gave me warmth, laughter, a place to breathe when the world felt too heavy. But somewhere along the way, admiration turned to contempt. What she once praised, she began to scorn. Dependability became dullness. Loyalty became weakness. And that harmless friend she kept close? He became the reflection she preferred to see instead of me. It wasn't one single betrayal that destroyed us. It was the little things. Her phone flipped face down the second I entered a room. Her outfit sharper, more deliberate, whenever he was around. The way she defended him, dismissed me, or fell into silence at my presence. I convinced myself I was imagining it. Told myself I was insecure. Convinced myself marriages go through rough phases. Until one evening, her tablet lit up on the counter unlocked. "Don't worry about him. He's too serious. He'll never understand you like I do." Her reply? Just a row of laughing emojis. That was the moment when pain burned away, leaving behind something far colder. Calculation. Revenge doesn't erupt in an instant. It takes patience disguised as silence. I didn't confront her. I didn't scream or beg. That would have given her the upper hand. Instead, I smiled more, kissed her forehead, pretended to be the oblivious husband. Meanwhile, I was moving in shadows she never saw. First, I secured my finances. Separate accounts, redirected income, investments tucked safely away where she'd never reach. Second, I gathered evidence. Screenshots, bank transfers, location data from her phone she forgot was still shared. A folder grew on my computer, neat, organized, undeniable. Third, I prepared the exit. Lawyer on retainer. Papers ready. My house. Mine before the marriage, beyond her grasp. I lived two lives. The doting husband she thought she controlled, and beneath that, the hunter biding his time. That time came wrapped in wine and laughter. That dinner. That insult. His words echoing in my home. Her smile at my humiliation. They believed I'd swallow it like always. I didn't. I looked at him, then her, and asked calmly, "Say that again." His grin widened. "She's better off without you." Before I could reply, she slammed her glass down, eyes flashing. "Apologize to him," she demanded. "Or we're done." That was the gift I had been waiting for. I leaned back, let silence stretch, and smiled, slow, deliberate. "Then we're done." Her face drained of color. His smirk faltered. I stood, went to my study, and returned with a thick folder. Every secret, every message, every rendezvous neatly documented. I placed it on the table. "This," I said evenly, "is everything. You weren't nearly as clever as you thought." She reached for it, but I pulled it back. "No. You won't be reading this. My lawyer will." Her breath caught. His hands trembled. The joke was over. I turned to him first. "You wanted me out of the picture? Congratulations. But you won't like what you've inherited." Then to her. "You thought you had control. That humiliating me in my own home made you strong. But I walked out of this marriage months ago. Tonight is just the curtain call." She tried tears then. Shaky hands. "Please wait, we can fix this." He sat frozen, pale, wishing he could disappear. But I felt nothing. No second chances. No repair. You made your choice, I said. And I've made mine. I grabbed my jacket and walked out, leaving her with her shattered mask, and him with his broken pride. Behind me, her voice cracked, desperate. You can't just leave. But I could. And I did. Months have passed since that night. The divorce was clean, efficient. She walked away with nothing but regret. He didn't last. Turns out he couldn't stomach her once the thrill of secrecy was gone. They thought they had ruined me. Instead, they freed me. Sometimes late at night, I recall that dinner table, her demanding my apology, his smug grin, and I smile. Because they thought I was trapped. But I had already built the escape, already written the ending. Revenge isn't rage. It's patience, discipline, precision. And when it's done right, you don't just win. You walk away without ever looking back.